One thing I wanted to point out was this comes with sticks, and the sticks are not perfect, they're graduated because I had to hand cut this box. The longest stick goes in front, and then you'll see that there are other short sticks. The shortest one goes in the back, like such, and then your other ones, one side is actually longer than the other. So, but they just slide right in, like such. And it just kind of helps give you a pretty edge, and it also puts a space for the acrylic cover. If you find that the acrylic cover they made is too big, then you simply just pull these sticks out and put the cover on top. So when you open up your box, you should see this unit at the bottom. If you press this button, you'll notice what looks like nothing is happening. The other thing to know is that because I didn't have the case to cover the whole thing, I had to put in some sliders. These will come out and they'll be shipped up and wrapped separately. This lid also comes up. You'll see this is where your batteries are. This is the underside of the plate. And this right here actually comes apart. So in case you, for any reason, have to send me something back, everything comes apart. This also acts as storage, because you get some spare flower bulbs, and you also get some spare mushroom caps. You end up with basically 2 of each, as well as the mushroom units. But let me show you how to put the whole thing together. So when you first see your flower sets, you'll see this twig. This is your tree. Your tree has to go in the middle because it doesn't light up. What it does is it is the source of energy for everything. It is copper. It does have some give to it, but I wouldn't crank it too much. Even though everything is put together with silver solder, which is very durable. But this stays in the middle, as you can see there. The next part is actually where it's kind of fun. This is where you get to decide how you want to arrange things. The original design, I wanted the mushrooms on the outside white areas and the flowers on the red areas, so they're kind of color coded. So the mushroom, this is the mushroom unit, plugs in, and then you just clip anywhere along the tree. The other thing is, as you're plugging in mushrooms, make sure you don't turn anything on until everything's plugged in. Because there's a lot of electricity that runs through this thing, and I don't want to over-excite anyone until we have all the bulbs in place. So those are the mushroom units, and you're like, those don't look like mushrooms! Actually, they're these brass soldered caps that just, if you can see that little post in there, that post goes right in the hole, and you just kind of gently put it on there. These are hammered brass, and so they've been manipulated and beaten in all kinds of ways to get them to turn to this shape. So you'll notice some have holes in them, that's to allow the light out. You kind of get the mushroom effect there. One thing to note is that there are some flowers have no lights. They're purely ornamentive. And you can put those anywhere. They're not going to explode on you. So if that's what you decide you like and that's good enough, then you can turn it on. But if not, you can take some more flowers and put them wherever you want. They just have to make sure that they're connected to the tree. Because the whole concept was this was a saprophytic orchids and mushrooms. They feed off of the fungus that grows around the tree root system. And so the idea was that these beautiful plants and organisms couldn't live without this tree. And essentially that is true. If you pull out the tree from this, it won't light up at all. So the arrangement is up to you. You can decide how many flowers to put in or how few to put in. And you can decide in your configuration. The flowers that have no lights are made out of copper, so they're very flexible. If you don't like the way that I've positioned them, you can reposition them yourself. These other ones are made out of spring wire, so they don't bend as well, and they don't stay in that position. They flex, but they don't bend and stay. One thing I want to point out is that if maybe your mushroom's too short to reach the tree and grab a hold of it easy, you can actually clip on to another clip. I don't know if you can see this. And it will still light up. Let's see. If you need to replace a spare bulb in here, you simply just pull it out. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, so I'm going to take it down and show you. And they're oriented. They can only go in one way. If you force them any other way, they're not going to light up and they won't fit. So you don't have to worry about that. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below or send me a message.